Hi all. We are glad to see you at our meeting today. For those who are not yet familiar with us, my name is Natalya Ischenko. I'm the CEO of the group, and this is my colleague, Adamovich, the Chief Financial Officer of the group. Today, we will share with you business updates for 9 months of this year. And of course, we will answer all your questions that you left in our form. Also, during the webcast, you will be able to leave your questions in the chat window. We will try our best to answer them at the meeting. And if accidentally we miss any of them, we will definitely cover them in the webcast recap email. This is the first time we are holding a meeting in Zoom. So we kindly ask you to turn off your microphones, if possible, and cameras during the broadcast. Thanks. So let's get started. Okay. So a few words about the platform figures for 5 years of its life. Since the launch of the platform, our investors base and volumes have been steadily growing. Of course, we see that in 2020, there was a decline due to the pandemic, although the amount of attracted investments continued to increase. But a year later, we restored volumes. Moreover, some indicators have almost tripled compared to 2020. This year, in April, we returned to the average monthly amount of attracted investments, having taken all the necessary measures to maintain a positive balance. Now, according to the results of 9 months, the amount of purchase loans exceeds the results of last year for the same period. The third quarter was marked by changes in the group's management structure. I took over the management of the holding, and my colleague Ivan stepped up as Chief Financial Officer. Sergei Sedov remains the CEO of the platform and holds the position of Chairman of the Board. Our business is growing, and we start launching new countries now. So it was also decided to appoint regional directors of our major regional destinations, which are Central and Southeast Asia, Africa, and Latin America in the nearest future. Also, over the past few months, our investor base has grown significantly, and we are glad to welcome new investors at Robocash. The third quarter gave us a milestone of 60 million raised funds and 10 million earned by investors in total.
Hello, everyone. We are glad to share the results of Robocash Group in the past 9 months of the year. Data for 2022 is based on group management accounts, which are in compliance with IFRS. The revenue for the period amounts to $346.8 million, up by 52.4% compared to the same period last year. Total assets reach $259.5 million. The group assets, excluding Russian business, are enough to cover the obligation to the platform's investors. Total equity grew by 90.9%. And we received a lot of questions from you about the results of the group, and we will comment on them in Q&A session at the end of our webcast. Next slide, please. Our achievements. The group achieved great results in 9 months. We made $346.8 million in revenue, which is 52.4% more than for the same period in 2021. Zymer Kazakhstan exceeded the net profit forecast by 8.4 million USD. Prestemer overfulfilled its net profit plan by 3.5 million USD. Vietnam has issued 25.7 million USD worth of loans, up by 96% compared to 9 months period 2021. Digida's net profit amounted to 2.8 million euros, 16% more than the same period in 2021. The number of repeated loans increased by 58%, which indicates the rapidly growing confidence of clients. And the newly launched service Una Pharma that we recently introduced in our Una ecosystem in the Philippines is expanding its offering with over 14,000 products in circulation and more than 300 pharmacies connecting to the services. Next slide, please. Yes, Q&A session. Let's move on your questions. So the first one, how much of the revenue of Robocash Group is coming from the Russian loan originator Zymer? Our quarterly reporting was established based on the financial results of the combined perimeter of the group. Therefore, they include the results in Russia. The share of revenue of all units without Russian Zymer is 40%. It is worth noting that we are already estimating the result of the consolidated perimeter of the group, where Russia is not included, the share of which is growing rapidly. And the release of audited financial statements without Russian Zymer is planned for next year. Next question. Could you give us some color to why such a strong increase in third quarter 2022 net income stands alone? The main factors that contributed to the significant increase in the group net profit for third quarter are better portfolio performance, exceeding the plan for issuance and improvement of our collection process. What is defaulted rate in 2022? At the group level, we generally maintain it at around 13.5%, which is within the model of the operated business. On the platform, we have a buyback guarantee that protects investors from defaulted loans. In other words, investors always get the principal and they earn interest even if the borrower is unable to pay the loan. In over 5 years of the platform's operation, there have been no cases of defaulted loans on platform itself, and investors have always got their money in full. What is the late rate and the recovery rate 2022? The share of overdue loans in 2022 average 11.3 FPD 30 plus. As for the platform, the share of such loans counted from the first day amounts to 13.4% now. What has been the net profit and loss of the part of the company that guarantees the group guarantee in 2022? For 9 months, the group's net profit came to 43.5 million United States dollars. The total assets of combined perimeter for the 9 months of 2022 comprise 259.5 million USD. The outstanding loan portfolio on the platform is almost 62.7 million USD. As you see, the group assets are sufficient to cover the liabilities from our investors. Is there any case of force measure for which the group guarantee would not cover the net losses of the investors? We successfully overcame the crisis after pandemic, fulfilling all obligations to investors on time. For the entire period of the platform operation, we have not had a single defaulted loan, which is especially valuable for our clients and customers. Robocash Group guarantees obligations of its loan originators with direct participation in capital. If in the event of some force measure one of the companies of the group is unable to repay the guarantees, this obligation is assumed by other companies of the holding. At the moment, the assets of the Singapore perimeter are enough to cover all obligations to investors. Next question. How do Robocash manage the foreign currency risk among its different loan originators? Currency risks are hedged by level of loan originators and on a group level also. Our platform provides funding to the loan originators in euros and get returns in euros as well. When is an immediate SEPA transfer? We plan to implement it in near future, but so far we cannot give specific dates. Do you maintain the goal to become a listed financial group? The holding strives to become a public company. Currently, we are learning different options and having a busy negotiation processes. As soon as we do it, no doubt we will let you know. Let me pass the word to Natalya.
So, next questions. We have, how about new loan originators and new rates? Whenever we consider integrating a new loan originator to the platform, we need to know for certain that the company is stable and efficient enough that investors' money, your money, is not at risk. And after making sure that the company shows solid results for the reporting periods, we presented it to our investors. So this is how it works. And in October, we added our Philippine creditor, Digidom. Business development in Asia is very active now. We are increasing volumes in all countries and see great potential in the future. As for other lending companies which are not present on the platform now, they are financed from our own funds. Next question. Will there be an app available in the near future for smartphones? We're actively working on adapting the site design to the mobile version now. And as soon as we are done with the design, we will start developing the application. And as for the rates, we revisit the question of changing interest rates according to the situation on the market and the needs of the holding. And since the platform is an important source of business funding, it is important for us that it retains its attractiveness for you, the investors, and is efficient for the group. And based on all this, we decide whether to raise the rates or not. Are there any plans to improve your web interface? And thanks, you are doing a great job. Thank you. Of course, in addition to a new design, we plan to launch a one-click investment strategy in the near future. This is a very simple and well-balanced investment strategy with a minimal settings for your portfolio to make it profitable and diversified. Hi, I invest my funds entirely in 3-year Robocash Singapore. Is there any benefit with, say, 10,000 investment spreading it across 100 per 100 euro or 10 per 1,000 euro or 1 per 10,000 euro? I don't see any potential for default risks. In terms of profit, there will be no difference. However, this distribution helps you diversify your portfolio and also makes it easier to sell the loan on the secondary market. Our secondary market is highly liquid. Loans are sold within a few days, but since the amount is large, it may take longer than usual. You will receive payment and interest only after the loan is fully repaid. Therefore, it's better to split the amount. I would also like to remind you that Singapore loans can be past due as they are commercial loans. Why are businesses not supported able to register anymore? We have put verifications for legal entities on a temporary hold, as we will be launching a new workflow for the legal entities. We will keep you posted as soon as we resume investment for the business. Why did Robocash support the Russian government's guidelines of not calling Russia's military aggression in Ukraine a war? What did Robocash do to support Ukrainians? We refrain from making any comments regarding the political topic. As before, our main focus and concern is the safety of the funds of our investors. Of course, we are all worried about what is happening, and we are not staying indifferent. We arrange donations to the SOS Children's Village Fund in support of children affected by these events, as well as those who find themselves in difficult situations. As said, for our part, we consider it the most important to make sure your money is safe and to maintain the expected quality standard inherent to investing with Robocash. As the Russia-Ukraine war escalates, and in the hypothetical case of European Union economic sanctions against the chairman of the board and owner of Robocash, have you planned any measures to protect investors' money? All previous sanctions, from our experience, concern mostly the state or systemically important private banking sector to which we do not belong. There are no such international sanctions on Russian citizens, and we have no heard about such intentions in the future. So that's it. Should Robocash investors worry about the military mobilization, as I believe some services to the platform are made by Russian citizens? The operational work of Robocash is not affected much by the political tension and resulting sanctions. We do not place Russian or Ukrainian loans on the platform, and all related transactions as well as loan disbursement activities of the companies are done through the respective local banks. Financially, our investors are not affected by this. Most of our employees work abroad. They work in the countries of presence like Kazakhstan, Philippines, and also in Turkey, Croatia, Latvia, and so on. Myself, for example, and Ivan Adamovich, our CFO, we are in the United Arab Emirates, and all our management team is abroad. Despite all the events, we continue to operate smoothly, and we do our best to continue smooth operations from our side. Next question. Do you plan to change the loyalty program, and how? We originally envisioned the loyalty program to be a multi-stage campaign that would inspire investors to grow with us on the long term. The program has been running for 2 years. During this time, the platform has grown has grown a lot, actually, and a lot has changed. So we plan to adapt the campaign to the current investor base and our strategic plans. Why do investors who have already been successfully verified need to be verified again? Good question. If you mean video verification procedures, we launched it on the platform this spring, starting with new investors. At the moment, we are gradually introducing the process to our customers. Also, in case your identification document is expired, for example, you will need to upload a new one and go through the verification procedure again. The procedure itself does not take much time. This is done in order to meet the requirements for customer identification and verification, and to further prevent identity fraud and any illegal activities with your account. So it must be, may be annoying, but it is for the protection of your funds. And to fully understand your situation, we need to ask you to contact our support team so that they can study your case for any possible inconsistency. But in general, this is done to protect the funds of the investors. Hello, does Robocash have enough lands to not create cash drag in some land categories? With inflation, will you review the lands rates? The recent cashback campaign has aroused a great interest from investors, especially for short-term loans. Our originators regularly upload loans to the platform, and taking into account the needs of originators and increased demand in the future, we will more precisely regulate the conditions of the campaign so that the investors' funds work properly on the platform. As I already noted, we will make decisions on rates based on the holding requests and the market situation. Is there any work planned on full translations of Robocash text to facilitate the use of the platform? Thanks. Yeah, we have already strived to provide investors with a comfortable user experience within the platform, and we gradually updating the text or translations and are considering more comprehensive work on them in the future. And we also plan to add some languages to the platform so it is more convenient to different investors from different countries. So I think these are all the questions which were asked before, and we have some questions in the chat. At the moment, no loans with a term of around 120 days have been available for a long time. We have experienced an increased demand for short and mid-term loans at the end of November, as we had a cashback campaign actively running. And now the demand is in line with the supply on the platform, so there shouldn't be any problems with investing your funds. Another question. Hi, how much shareholders' equity sits outside of Russia? You booked a foreign exchange gain of $34 million relating to the ruble appreciating against USD. So it seems that most group equity is located in Russia. The financial statements that are open to the public do include the profit earned by the entity in Russia. However, the audited financial statements for the consolidated perimeter, where the share of Russia is excluded, will be ready by the next year, and we will be happy to share them with you once they are ready. Please let me emphasize that the group's assets along the consolidated perimeter fully cover the additional costs of any subsidiary outside of Russia. I see less registered investors compared to the last year. Maybe the peak is reached. Yeah, good question. 2021 was a booming year for Robocash. We saw a huge increase in both monthly volumes and registered investors. The crisis of the current year is influencing, for sure, the whole P2P market, and Robocash is not an exception. Now we are improving the quality of the product we are providing to investors. We are improving the usability of the website and amplifying our supply of loans along with these improvements. Our main goal is and has always been to provide investors with a quality investment solution and perfect user experience, and to protect them from any operation which may harm their investments or any payment delays. And after over 5 years of operation, we are proud to say that every single loan has been paid on time. in spite of the difficulties we had, for example, in the first quarter this year. And all the loans were paid to the full extent, and we plan to continue in this way. So, don't see any other questions.
I think that's it.
Looks. Oh, please mute your microphone, Ivan, please. Thank you. So that's all for today. It was great to meet you here. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact us and our support team. And please put your questions to the support email in the Telegram channel. We will be very happy to answer them. Have a nice day and enjoy your week. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.